Welcome to another Lotus Excel update. This one is well out of order probably in terms of what I should be doing, but it's just something I'm wanting to get ticked off the list, and that's to repair the door beams. And this is the driver's side, and this one has rotted mostly from the outside in, and you can see that the mounting post here, which is for the check strap, has rotted out, and a lot of this is stress corrosion. This is not reinforced in any way, it's just a boss onto the top skin. It doesn't have a reinforcing rib to the rear post. Both posts were used by an earlier check strap design, and this is rotten on both sides, so some of this, well, this is heavily pitted on this side, but hasn't actually, I think, gone through. Oh yes, there is a hole there, but this area will need to be replaced, and this entire front section. And I'm going to change, I think, the way the posts are done. But let's have a look at the passenger side, which is the one I've actually been doing a little bit of work on. Well, this is the inner skin that you can see has completely gone through, and maybe not looking actually as bad on the inside as it is on the outside. And I could probably have got away with replacing less, but I just decided to do this all in one piece. So that's this section here that I fitted very closely on these two seams, because that allows me to use this repair piece to get the alignment on the hinge post. You can see it's currently floating around, to get that set, because this door beam was mostly rotten along the bottom edge. You can see big chunk missing there. This is all heavily pitted, if not holed, and that entire section has been cut out, and a repair section made to go in there. And you can actually see this surface should be sitting up here. That's how much tension there was in the sheet metal of the door beam, and how much it's gone out of shape once cut. But this surface of the beam is entirely flat, so I can reference it off my surface plate workbench and get everything back into alignment. So the plan will be to do the outer skin tacked back in place, then to put this section in, get the hinge post welded back on. I'll probably cap the front edge, which was open, which was closed on the other door beam design. It's all a little bit confusing. There's no good documentation on these door beams. There's reference to the closed-in beams being a later design, but all the later cars I've seen have actually got an open front. My car had one beam of one style and one of the other style, and I've seen people mention that they also had that arrangement. So it's not clear which is the later design really. I think it probably is this one with the reinforcing rib here. What I'm thinking I may do, in fact, is to weld onto the bottom of here inside the beam and bring a tube down to meet the bottom skin, so that this entire check strap attachment post becomes a structure rather than a mechanism which just tries to flex the top skin. Well, I'm part way through the welding repairs on this door beam. This piece is all new and welded in and dressed back, and I got it clamped down to the surface plate bench, and as near as I can I've got it flat and any twist removed. Obviously the hinges and the striker plate are adjustable to some degree, so it should all work out. If it doesn't, I may be able to correct it after the fact, or I can buy replacement door beams. They're not horrifically expensive, but they're certainly not cheap. Making good use of my Clico edge clamps, which I really find very useful. And I've got a couple of brass bolts through into the captive nuts that I've attached to the repair that's going along this side. So time to do a bit of plug welding, and then I've got to attach this piece to the back, which will be a seam weld. Well, the repairs on this passenger side door beam are all but done. I've got some welds to clean up, but you can see this is a new piece, or this is a new piece with all the correctly positioned captive nuts. You can see all the plug welds replicating the original spot welds. The ones down here have been dressed. This is a new section. The hinge post has been re-welded up at the front, and the only jobs I've really got left to do, apart from cleaning it up, is decide what to do about this boss here, which is the mounting for the door check strap. Now you can see a little saw cut there to the, between the reinforcement to this rear post, and despite this reinforcing rib, that front post had actually bent out of position over the years. So I put the saw cut in there to enable me to get it straight, and I'm probably going to do something different about bracing it. I mean, I could just weld up that that saw cut and it would be back to original, but we might look at doing something a little bit stiffer and stronger to prevent it happening again. And then sitting underneath and next for attention is the driver's side door beam, which, whereas the passenger side had mostly rusted from the inside, this one has mostly rusted from the outside, and as you can see it's a slightly different design. But I'm making up some sections and we'll get going on that, but not today. It's 3:30 on the Sunday, and it's getting a bit too uncomfortable out here temperature wise. Now Monday and Tuesday next week we've actually got a red weather warning for record for the UK temperatures, possibly exceeding 40 degrees C. So I won't be working in temperatures like that. I might try and get some work done earlier-ish in the morning and maybe in the evening when it's not quite so hot and oppressive. But I'm really quite pleased with the way the first beam has gone. At one stage it had a lot of twist and a lot of bend in it, but actually that was kind of like built-in stress that I relieved when I cut sections out, and when I fitted the repair sections in it basically came back straight, and I don't seem to have caused any additional distortion when welding. It's maybe got a bow front to rear of 3 or 4 millimeters, which will put the the window frame out of position, but I'm replacing the window frames, and I'll probably have ended up having to re-shim them in any case. And I'm told this is not a fun job, getting these beams and the window frames and then the door shells all back into alignment. So that'll be a future joy. Well, with the exception of the second, or the forward boss for the check strap, which is the one that my car actually uses with its style of check strap, the later style, the door beam is done. We've got front section on this side and with section on here. Didn't take it all the way to the edge. That's actually solid metal. The pitting is minimal. I've got the odd little patch of heavier pits that I might just build up with a little weld and then grind back. I've still of course got to put the boss back on and the captive nuts, but otherwise that is the driver's side door beam sorted out. We've already seen the passenger side door beam, so there will be many more things to work on. I'll just give you a very quick preview of something that's just arrived. You can see the leaf motor and the single speed reduction gearbox, which I got just the other day from Zero EV, but I'm gonna talk about all that in another video.